So I just got done watching the special program for 6.2 or Luna 2. The first half of it was pretty standard, you know, we got some events, we got a new character Nefer, which looks really cool, and I'm super excited about her. But the second half is what I'm overall more excited about, MILIASTRA Wonderland. They gave us a ton of details about it, and it will be dropping next patch, so in like under 2 weeks. But let's just start with the first half. Again, redemption codes will be in the comments below. If you're watching this the day I post it, they should still be good. So we've been watching the trailer here in the background. I would say it mostly references the upcoming Archon quest. By the way, I did catch up, so I at least know more about what's going on with the story. At the end of the current Archon quest, we had our battle with Rarir, and without going too deeply into it, we're going to be having a rematch. Both Nefer, the new character, as well as Arlecchino will play a part in this story as well. But regardless, I typically don't touch on story or lore too much, but as someone who is kind of caught up now, it is pretty exciting, I gotta say. Oh yeah, and we'll finally like for real meet Varka. I know we kind of did already, sort of, a few times, but it's implied he will play an important part in this Archon quest. Since this patch does bring Nefer, we'll talk a little bit about her and her backstory for those that haven't caught up yet. In a nutshell, she is an intel dealer. She basically buys and sells information. She's a Sumeru local and kind of just has information about anyone and anything. She has a pretty interesting overworld ability to like gather intel from NPCs here, and then you can give it to Catherine with intel exchange and you'll unlock side stories. I don't know right now if there's going to be actual rewards locked behind these side stories or if it's just content locked behind owning Nefer. I think it's a neat idea, but obviously I'm going to get her. For those that don't get her, I imagine they might be missing out on something. But alright, it's mechanics time. She's a Dendro main DPS. It feels like it's been a while since we've had like a real Dendro DPS. A part of me doesn't want to count Kanich, even though I really do like him, because his playstyle is so visually different and you basically need to be in a burning team, whereas Nefer feels a bit more like I'll hate them, like a regular main DPS with melee attacks. Regardless, she does have some pretty interesting mechanics. She'll be the second user of Verdant Dew, these moons down here. Currently, Lauma can use them to increase bloom damage, or Dendro reaction damage. Nefer can use them to perform a special charge attack that is considered, at least in part, direct lunar bloom damage. Her animations look absolutely sick, and contrary to what it looks like, you know, with her melee attacks here, she is a catalyst user, though I guess we've had a few pugilists. Once you do E and you're in the special state where you're allowed to consume the moon to do the charge attack, we have these additional shades that come in on the enemy and attack them. That is what's considered direct lunar bloom damage. Also, by having a second Nodcry character in your team, I know would work if you didn't get Lauma, the created Dendro cores turns into Seeds of Deceit, which Nefer can absorb to further increase the power of this special charge attack, as well as the damage of her burst, which as far as they revealed and as far as it looks like is just a big Dendro attack. So potentially some very high nuke value there, big number, me like. But yeah, overall she seems really cool. Dendro might be my favorite element, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's just because my favorite color is green or because generally they have some pretty interesting mechanics, but I'm honestly looking forward to her. For banners in the first half, this is so sad for me. We have Nefer and Farina. I told myself I would get Farina to C6 next time she comes around, but I have to focus on Nefer. And of course, her signature weapon looks super unique. We have like a Sphinx there. That's a really cool looking weapon, I gotta say. Also coming in the gacha is 3 new 4-star weapons. Feels like it's also been a while since we've had those. The sword here, Moonweaver's Dawn, we could actually get in a world quest, and from, I guess, gacha, we can refine it further. In second half, we have Arlecchino and Zhongli. I know a lot of people are Arlecchino stans. Since I C6 Mawika, I honestly don't use Arlecchino much anymore, but I know a lot of people like her. I'm not sure I mentioned this earlier, but Rarir, we actually will like fight him normally here. I assume he will at the very least be, you know, a weekly boss. His moveset does look pretty incredible, pretty cool. So I feel like it would be a huge waste to just make him a story boss. So most likely new weekly boss there, but they don't directly confirm that. We'll also get a new world boss, Frost Knight Hera. They do confirm this is a world boss because they say you need to defeat it for Nefer's level up materials. Before moving on to the events, they did drop a tiny QoL. When tracking mining sites at a blacksmith, the nearest one will automatically be set as your target. And events. First up, we have Ruins Exploration Fieldwise Center. This one seems to take place in Sumeru, which is fitting because Nefer. We got a lot of old faces showing up we haven't seen in a while. Most from Sumeru, but there's also going to be like Amber there. The first gameplay here seems pretty casual. We're just riding on these waves collecting coins. The next one is a bit of platforming, but mostly like puzzle problem solving. You can see the companion like freezing the water so he can go over it, etc. Next up, we have a 2-team combat event. There'll be certain objectives to complete, but overall it seems like a pretty standard combat event. Rewards wise, we'll get a free Kale. Mine's been C6 for years, and but also a crown and Primo Gems, you know, the usual. Pretty good. We also got Dance Dynamic Disco. Pretty fun to say. From what I can tell, it is essentially a rhythm game, but there's like dancing and you have to follow the dancers. So it looks interesting, but yeah. Next up, Saurian Sojourn, also coin collecting, but I guess there's a focus on transforming into the animal dudes. Overflowing Abundance is back, double talent and weapon mats. TCG update. Wait, I see Varissa. Maybe I should play TCG. And that was it for the main update. Now we're going to be talking about MILIASTRA Wonderland. They've already teased this at least once or twice, but it's only today we get all of the info. So when we start this new mode, we can choose male or female. This will be kind of our character for MILIASTRA Wonderland. There will also be a ton of character customization options. I knew there would be some, but like the amount of accessories, and I know this is going to be something that continually expands, so you can probably make some pretty unique characters here. But yeah, just going through it, we got skin type, eye shape, color, size, bunch of different eyebrows, hairstyles, but it's mainly the outfits and accessories, I think, where it gets kind of crazy. Just like look at all of them already. You can just like be a Tanuki. Is that a Tanuki? Look at how many shoes there are. You can also make a completely unique avatar with your character and use that in the main game. I assume, actually maybe not. They didn't specifically say that, I just assumed that. And now that I'm doing the voiceover, I kind of doubt it, but that would be cool. There are also just like full outfits, like presets, and how you get at least some of them might ruffle some feathers. It is paywalled. It's basically an additional battle pass. However, if you already buy the normal battle pass, you'll get the first tier of this new one for free. If you never buy the normal battle pass and care more about cosmetics than everything else, you can separately buy that one for $5. And then the normal battle pass becomes $5 if you choose to buy it also. So the cost is essentially shared. I don't know right now if this boon will always just result in a $5 discount. So say you bought the, premium battle pass for $20, would the premium cosmetic battle pass be free then? If not, the premium battle pass, which I always buy because, I'm a collector and want all the name cards, definitely has comparatively less value than it did before. But I guess we'll see. You can also obtain cosmetics via crafting, although I assume not the super fancy stuff. There will also be a new gacha for outfits, at least that's what it looks like. Whether you can spend actual money for the currency here, or you can just get enough of it by, playing the content. I don't know, because you can exchange cosmetics with friends, something I don't think is super common. There is also a way to directly purchase outfits. They have like a specific store for that. Whether again, that is for straight up money or currency you get within the game, they don't divulge those details. When MILIASTRA Wonderland launches, we'll have like a special event and we can get all of these rewards here. The most consistent of which seems to be these geodes of replications, which seems to be the main currency of this world, like Primo Gems are for Genshin. I wouldn't be surprised if they're also like Primo Gems in the way you can, buy them with money. But firstly, that is an assumption. And secondly, it's all purely cosmetic as far as I can tell. So I don't really care too much about this part. You can use your custom character in the actual game of Genshin. There are some restrictions: no Spiral Abyss, no Imaginarium Theater, and no Stygian Onslaught, and they'll essentially be another main character. Apparently though, you do have to separately level them up, but there's no resources are required, just a certain Wonderland level. So the cosmetic stuff, that's cool and all, but I think what's much more exciting is the gameplay, or just the possibilities here. Here we are in the lobby, and there is a bunch of other players here. Once you get high enough level, you can create your own private lobby if you don't want to like see other people there. You can then adjust the layout and background music of your own private server, sort of. And then you can invite specifically the people you want. And then we have the game page. This is just like games people made within the editing program. Like, look at this already. This isn't even Genshin anymore. They say here you can set up achievements, ranks, and leaderboards for your stages. My brain is already working on stuff. This might be more exciting because I'm a content creator, and I think getting the community involved, like maybe during a live stream or something, would be super fun in something like this. And yeah, here we have the sandbox mode. We just have like this big editing program. I guess it's going to be pretty similar to like stirring a teapot editing, which wasn't my favorite, but there are so many options. You can even change the skills of the character. What the hell is even going on here? This looks actually quite advanced. This almost looks like my editing program. And yeah, here's the 400-page tutorial about how to actually use the program and the editing and stuff. They have Blender. There's Blender. Custom text, custom stage achievements, in-game save slots, leaderboard settings, rank settings, and more enriching features will be progressively unlocked as your level increases. So I guess as you create more stages and people play them, you can like rank up your thing here and unlock more customization options. This is just so weird and insane, but like in a good way. It's somewhere in the middle of like still being part of Genshin, but also like creating a game in a way. Not only that, if your stages are popular enough, Genshin will actually pay you for them. I know they've had several like incentive programs in the past. I am surprised it's baked into a mode within the game though, if you know what I mean. Not just like promoting the game via streaming or making a video. The more your stage gets played and liked and shared around, the more you'll get paid. Kind of like posting anything to social media, you get paid based on the amount of attention it gets. And starting in Luna 4, they're going to be launching a separate category for specifically like creative stages, I guess, or more detailed. So on one hand, I think this is a super cool thing. Anyone can create whatever they want to, really. I also think it's super cool that the creator of the stages, can potentially get paid. I only hope it won't be abused. Like we have some people spamming out, garbage stages, hoping one of them gets popular. What is the equivalent to AI slop on YouTube and other social media these days? When there's a cash incentive, people get kind of crazy. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the special program. Really looking forward to MILIASTRA Wonderland. It looks super interesting. Also, Nefer looks nice. The new Archon quest, quite hyped for. Let me know what you're looking forward to the most in the comments down below. Leaving a like or subscribing if you enjoy is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.